All right, so maybe I can get Q&A coordinator, but I would like to read the questions. Kosuke, you okay? All right. Let's get a second microphone.
Go from the top? Okay, there's one with the most votes. Should I go with that one? So the question is, what is the core belief of the church to consider ourselves as a unificationist?
All right. Mother has asked us to focus on four things, 4 points. That God is the heavenly parent of humankind. That's the first belief. So no matter what your religion, your race, your nationality is, God is your heavenly parent. That is our first core belief. And secondly, God's hope has been to substantially create such a family through the true parents. Unfortunately, through the fall of the first human ancestors, as the idea of true parents was lost. And God's historical efforts has been to find the true parents and establish them as the starting point of this human family. And so for us, as unificationists, human history is God's search for the true parents. And then in 1960, we believe that the true parents were found and established through the holy wedding of Reverend Sangmyang Moon and Dr. Hakjahan Moon, or Holy Mother Han. And from that day, we believe God's original dream started to take form here on earth. And those who believe in that dream and follow Reverend Moon and Dr. Hakjahan Moon are called Blessed Central Families, is with the mission to expand this family. So to me, that's the core belief of unificationist faith. All right, is there any theologian? But here's what I like to tell people. I am not a theologian. I'm a theolover. So I just love God. So if you're looking for the perfect theology, that's not me. But if you're looking to experience the love of God, we can walk that journey together. All right. Maybe Dr. Kiro, is there? Yeah. All right. All right, good. So Dr. Kiro approves. All right, what's the second question? Oh, Rosia wanted to add something? No? All right.
Second question is, what is our church's vision for the next year?
All right. If this was my church, I would have a vision of my own. But this is, if we are to call it a church, this is True Parents Church. So True Parents sets the vision for the church. The calling of True Parents on what we should be focusing on, as I have come to realize as through my study of True Mother's Word, is this. You must grow in numbers of those who attend heavenly parents while the true parents are here on earth. So our vision is to grow in numbers of those who attend heavenly parents. Part of that vision is that I must become a person who attains heavenly parents. And the way I attain heavenly parents is living my life with God as the center, living my life with heavenly parents as the primary focus. And so in everything I do, I involve heavenly parents. So we are born for the sake of heavenly parents. We live for the sake of heavenly parents. We marry for the sake of heavenly parents. We have children for the sake of heavenly parents. And we go to the spirit world to live in the embrace of heavenly parents. And that for me is attendance. And so then secondly, we must inspire the rest of the world to live in such a way. And for me, that is the vision that the true parents have given to us to inspire a life of attendance. First, through our own life model, and then through witnessing or the sharing of such experience. That is the core of it. Now, when we attend heavenly parents, we have a great time together. In attendance to heavenly parents, we are brothers and sisters. And that is what we call the kingdom of heaven. And it's the most beautiful time that we have. So that is true parents' vision. Now, what I would like to see, more of is we are measuring 3 areas. As you know, for me, the church should add value to the community. And there is a basic way that you measure it. How many people are showing up, or how many people are happily showing up to your programs, right? Not by duty, but because they feel excited to show up. Then if that is taken care of, the second way you measure it is that people are happily giving. And right, so if we add value to people, they want to give. So those are the 2 things. So how many people are showing up? How many people are happily giving? And then the third most important on true parents' hearts is how we are raising the second generation, one, to inherit our faith. That the next generation are excited to inherit this faith and pass it on to their children. And a big part of that is that we are preparing them for the blessing. Because for me, the greatest gift that we have received from true parents is the blessing. And so these 3 points for me are key to really what we are doing. Right.
Okay, the next question is, what is the point of Kodan? What kind of activities do you do?
Thank you for the question. I was thinking last year we didn't do so much activities, except I think some of you know, Japanese community, we are collecting donations for the national. I consider this is a national tithe. True father told us over 30 years ago, each family donated $300 for the national movement, nationwide, for the supporting headquarters. But this is not really activity for how to say active activity. I don't know. Huh? Yeah, contribution. But Kodan, we supposed to be actually core. How to say, should be like a backbone. The engineer told us one time that we should be the backbone. This movement in America. Kodan is very unique in only America too. I think Europe or some places are developing now, but. So even though we don't speak so much, our Kodan members, Japanese members, some are good speaking English speaking, but very quiet. But our heart should maintain, how to say, connect to the true parents, And that kind of a spirit or heart we should how to say, convey to the community. That's our mission. Also, Pastor asked us. Actually, Pastor Hebangja came to Chicago. The first meeting he asked to hold is a Kodam meeting. I mean, he invited us. Then he asked us, we have to be the prayer warrior. This is, I think, a mission for the prayer warrior. But this year, we Kodan leader Hiyoko-san, also Mrs. Kato Fukiko-san, we determined we do more activity in this community. I mean, witnessing those activities also, but we want to invite you, all of you, to join this meeting, Japanese meeting, but English speaking, our English translation, or maybe in English, and we want to show more activity. We want to together more fun thing, and invite back. I mean, invite back so many people not here right now, staying home or some other groups, whatever. But we really want to bring them back to true parents. I don't know. That was the answer. I don't know.
Let me say something. I heard, True Father established the Korean Association, and then asked them to witness for the sake of Korea, and then established Kodan and asked them to really support the American church. And everywhere you go, really the Japanese moms especially are like the backbone of the community. And I hope we can show gratitude to them. Why don't we give it up for them? So this is a group of people who are committed to the mission of fully supporting the community, and they show up whenever they are needed, So to me, kind of Kodan is the organization of those who are fully committed to support the community. So I hope we can be grateful to them and encourage them even more. But it is my understanding that Kodan, it is not for the Japanese members. As Kodan is for all the members, because we are all called to the mission of supporting the development of the church. Somehow we have thought that Kodan is a Japanese organization, but Japanese moms organization, when the dads don't go. But our father's heart was that this would become like the bloodline of the church. So I hope we can support Kodan a little bit more and pay close attention to what they're doing. So, all right, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. The next question is, they have a brother's Monday morning breakfast. How about a sister one?
I would love to see one. So the brothers group is a grassroots group. They just started getting together. Please start getting together. That's it. I think we are used in. You may want my blessing, but you don't really need my approval for these kind of things. If you're going to get together and encourage each other in faith, encourage and support each other for life, you don't really need my approval. This is what I want to see. A lot of grassroots activities that's what strengthens the community. You really don't want a lot of top-down things. The community doesn't grow that way. Take initiative. I saw in the end of the year reflection, some people say, why kind of first and second generation don't talk to each other, help. I mean, we are here on Sunday, we have lunch time, just talk to each other. Decide that today I will sit at a different table. And just go to a table with second generation and say, can I sit with you guys today? I'm sure they will not say, no, you are too old, get out of here. But also I think the next generation should have this kind of heart. All right, and I saw in the reflection a few second generation also mentioned that, we don't talk enough to the first generation. Then I said, well, there is a common base. Just talk to each other. You don't need me to have a program where you can talk to each other, where I put you in a room and say, now talk to each other. It doesn't come from the hearts, and it just doesn't work. It's not sustainable. Just talk to each other. Be curious. The way you build relationship is through curiosity. Be curious about each other. People always ask me, who is your friend? I always tell them, Reverend Rendo is my friend. And, I talk with him. Sometimes we'll call each other and we talk for hours and hours about a bunch of stuff. We just talk, So please be curious about each other. You don't need me to organize these kind of things. This is part of our culture. Talk to each other. I've been sharing the story of this brother. He has been around our community for quite some time. My mom came for the Chambo Great Works, and somehow she picked up a conversation with him. And they were talking, and suddenly this brother says, wow, you are a good person. You are such a good person. You are talking to me. And my mom told me that, I felt, wow, the standard for being a good person in this community is very low. All right, so all you need is to talk to me, So please, let's be curious about each other. That's how community is built. That's how community is strengthened. And, so I've answered a lot of the questions. Someone has some insights.
Keep going, right? Next question.
Yeah, keep going.
Okay. The next one is, can we have a suggestion box where we can input creative ideas?
Yeah. I'll make one.
Hiromi-san will make it up.
Yeah, I think we have a lot of boxes.
We talked about actually our last Monday meeting.
You're right.
She-
In our last Monday meeting,
Yeah.
we'll make it up.
I do.
Can you also reply to the email? Yes.
Zaiya
Zaiya
says you
says
can
yes.
email her, and she'll pass all your suggestions along to the whole pastoral team.
Okay. Next question. What is the educational plan for the new guests? What are you teaching them?
Good question. So, right now, actually last year headquarters was really encouraging us to have people, even the first time they come into the church building, you can sign the membership form and give them the whole form. But this year the focus has been a lot more on member care, member education, including people and getting them involved in ministry even. And so we've shifted our... So this is a little bit, okay, so I'm starting with this, I'll get to the education plan, but so if you bring a friend, bring a guest to church or to any event, I encourage you to have them sign the top half of the membership form. I don't know if you've ever seen it. I don't have a picture of it, but the top half is contact information, name, email, address, date of birth, phone number. And then the bottom half is like your commitments. I will support the only begotten daughter, Holy Mother Han. I will give my tithe and my time, and I will attend events and educate myself, and I'll come to church. So there's 3 commitments that are made on that membership form. So what we're doing right now is the first time you come to church, we want to get their contact information and keep in contact with them. But the second part, the commitment part, happens after the Rekindle workshop. So the Rekindle workshop that's happening every 3rd Sunday of the month. Oh, there you go. Aunt Patricia wants to show you. So contact information is so nice. It even labels contact information, and then the second part is commitments. So the first part they sign when they come. The second part is after the Rekindle workshop. So the Rekindle workshop is perfect for new guests to understand what these commitments mean. And so only after the Rekindle workshop will we ask guests to become members of the church once they understand. So then in the Rekindle workshop, the first topic is Heavenly Parent. And Pastor Hebangja has a huge, wonderful, rich group of quotes, most of them from Father, it seemed like to me. Actually, I haven't, yeah. On who Heavenly Parent is. A lot of depth of heart has gone into explaining who God is as explained by Father and Mother Moon. And then the second topic that we teach them about is who are true parents? What is that idea and that couple in God's mind and then also in reality? So it's good for us to know, but we have to teach that to guests too. So he teaches that part. That's the second section. And then the last section is what our movement is doing to align with and to create the vision that true parents have given us to build the kingdom of heaven here on earth right now. So that's the very first education that they get. So it's a 3-hour, each section is about an hour. There's Q&A also at the end. They can ask questions. That's the first education. Right now, after that education, it happens in Sunday service or on the weekday service, Wednesday night weekday services. Because if you join our movement, you need to know those things. You need to know Heavenly Parent's dream. You need to know who true parents are. But you also kind of, usually we need like faith food, right? Like how to become a good person, how to live a good life of faith. So that happens on Wednesday nights and also in church service here. I want to start small groups too, as a place of ongoing fellowship and education this year. Yeah. Aju. Thank you for the question.
Okay, thank you very much. Next question. There are many guests this year. What do you think is holding people to becoming members?
That's a good question. Actually, a lot of the new guests that we've had, not everyone. The guests that we've had come back twice. We've had a few people sign membership recently. People are looking for a community or a church or a place to grow more than we think, I believe. What's holding people back? Yeah, it's on my mind. We need to figure that out, right? I think part of the reason is people don't understand who we are and what we're trying to do, right? The vision hasn't caught fire in their heart, and I think that's part of it. I think we do a good job of welcoming people in the door. We have a really awesome care team, but also you guys are an incredible community. We are the church, right? People don't join a building or a name. They join the community and the fellowship that they feel when they walk in the door. You have no idea how many times, I should tell you, how many times people tell me how loved or embraced they felt when they came here during lunchtime, that so many people welcomed them, or when they came through the door, or when they were sitting here. Actually, yeah, we can do more. We can, but I think you should be proud of yourselves for what you are doing. That's a good question.
Yeah, all right, Reverend Takami asked me to explain active member. Who is an active member of a community? So we have active guests. So these are people who just come but don't want to commit, all right? And then we have active members. An active member is someone who attends at least 3 events, who has attended at least 3 events in the last 3 months. Is considered an active member. And so we have Chicago, we have, last I checked, it changes on a weekly basis. It's depending on how many events someone attended, and it's done automatically. We have maybe 311 people who have attended at least 3 events in the last 3 months. as you know. So that's the concept of an active member. All right, so Pastor Rosia is nice. In order for someone to join a community, statistics show that they need at least 6 solid relationships in that community. At least 6 solid relationships in that community in order for them to stay. And that brings the question, and I was just having this conversation with a pastor from a different community. They needed my insight on kind of this topic. The real question for us is this: what do we believe would happen to people when they meet true parents? That's the question that we need to answer. What do we believe about true parents? And then, what do we believe would happen in their lives if they meet true parents? The Christians are very clear about this, that if you meet Jesus and accept him as your Lord and Savior, your life would be transformed. That is why a good service in Christianity involves an altar call where people are asked to receive Jesus as their Lord and Savior so that their lives would be transformed. Now, for us, what do we believe would happen in people's lives if they meet true parents? Then that would tell how excited we can be about people meeting true parents. Are we actually excited for people to meet true parents? That is a question for each one of us. Do we believe that if all humanity meets the true parents and have a relationship with them, they will be saved and their lives will be transformed? That is the question for each one of us. If we are not clear about that, then we are just wasting our time. It's never going to work. Witnessing works through conviction. And the more of us have clarity in that conviction, and the better our witnessing process will be. If you go to Christian churches, they celebrate new members. If someone comes through for the first time, it's like, this is a new brother or sister in Christ. And they rejoice over it. Right? Reverend Randall shares this story. He visited, I think it's Willow Creek, and they were so happy he was there. They go out for lunch afterward. They say, come on, join us for lunch. He's a new brother, he's a new sister in Christ. So the question to each one of us is, what do we truly believe would happen to people if they meet and have a relationship with true parents? And I hope we can pray about it and really reflect sincerely. That's why I'm inviting everybody to come at least once to the Rekindle workshop, to be aware. So I've observed that many people disagree with True Mother because they feel that the proclamations that she has made are our own ideas. And Father is not a part of it. So I have done a lot of research to find that these ideas actually Father taught them while he was alive, actually. So I am using the Bible, True Father's words, and True Mother's proclamations in my Rekindle workshops. So I would like for all the members to come, and I would like for all the new members to go through that as well. Anyways, maybe let's do 2 more.
Okay, thank you very much. The next top question is, can you share the financial report 2025?
All right, so what are we asking?
Can you?
I'll send it out. But if you have opened the spreadsheets that I have shared before, you have access to it. There is a month-to-month progression and of our financial situation there. You can look. But I think 2025 is ending on a very positive note financially. It can be better. So, I mean, when I came in June, we had been struggling for a few months. We had been kind of in the negative, and my first focus was to get us back to the positives, you know. And so, I think from July, we've had positives. We've had a positive balance at the end of every month. And, you know, but that's because we cut on some spendings, things, and also more people started to give, you know. So the goal that we had set is that by the end of the year, we would have at least 100 regular donors. As you know, and last month, we had 105 donors. And the amount that we hoped to make by every month, I ask our bookkeepers, like, how much do we need to make per month to be in the positive? She said, we need to make at least 30,000. So we set that as our goal. Oh, and in November, we actually had 30,500 something. And, you know, so. Right, so that's good. That's kind of even. That's kind of in the safe. But we don't just want to be in the safe, right? We want to be very confident with our financial situation, and because at the end of the day, money talks. All right, money in many ways dictates what we can and cannot do. Oh, you know. So I hope we can keep growing. The reality is this: it costs at least $100 per person to keep the church running. But $100 per person per month to keep the church running. That's the reality of things. So if I am grateful for every donation, and you know, and there are people who give a couple thousand, there are people who give more. But if I give under, if I can, but I give under $100, it just means other people are taking care of me. You know, so the baseline really is that it costs at least $100 per person per month to run the church well. You know, that's like the baseline of everything. And so I'll send out the records in an email maybe tomorrow about our financial situation. So I just want to take also this opportunity to thank all of you who give to the community. You know, the reality is the church would not function without you, without your giving. That's just the reality. So I appreciate each one of you. And we picked up several new donors this year, and among the young people, many started giving. And, you know, so I want to appreciate that as well. And I hope next year would be even better financially. I hope I don't want to guilt people into giving. And I hope, you know, the Bible talks about being a cheerful giver. I hope you are happy with your giving to the community, you know, and I want to keep cultivating that. So one project that we are working on is to start renting our space. So Assembly B and the new middle room, we need to rename these rooms. The new middle room and the larger conference room, we want to start renting them out for one-time events. And, you know, so as that way we still have control over the schedule, and we can still use our building, but we want to generate income using our space. Hopefully that helps us to grow our ministry. So there will be more that we can share about that maybe in the coming weeks. So look forward to that. Right.
Okay, thank you very much. And then the last question is, what are our in-reach and member retention goals and programs?
Goal. So, Pastor Hebangja's goals for member in reach and retention is, you're talking about second gen or first gen who've kind of distanced themselves from the church, right? Or retention of members. You know what's interesting? I really appreciate Pastor Hebangja's view on this. So people kind of, there's two camps. We should reach back out to everybody who isn't here anymore, right? Why aren't they there? Why are we trying to reach out to new people if we can't even keep everybody that we had at all, at one point? And then there's another camp of like, no, true parents are asking us to witness. We got to go witnessing, right? And they're kind of, people don't see eye to eye on that question. This is an interesting question. And Pastor Hebangja's view is that, I'm saying it, but you're sitting here, is that actually if you want people to stay, we need to be a growing church. If you want second gen to be inspired about the church that they're a part of, when they see new people join and you see their faith grow and you see true parents transform their life, it's inspiring. You can inspire second gen to stay or to to grow their faith, to get more curious about their faith again when they start to see other people doing that. They can complement each other. And actually, it was interesting. I've been listening to these Rick Warren, a series that of lectures that he gives to pastors about how to grow your church. And he says the exact same thing. He says it takes so much more effort to go after people who have been hurt and who are angry and who have resentments and to try and bring them back. They don't want to come back. It takes a lot of energy to do that, right? But it's much easier to find people who are looking for community and to invite them in and to grow that way. And he says, anyways, he's really clear. Just search for the people who want to be here. That's who you want in your church. You actually, anyways, he's a bit blunt about this. But he's like, who do you want in your church? What kind of church do you want to be? A church of very angry, resentful people who have a problem with all the things that are going on? Or do you want people who are excited to be there, who want to contribute, who are inspired by the vision? He was like, just look for the people that you want in the church. Anyways, I don't know how you feel about that. But yeah, so I think we do need to, and Mother has been encouraging us. God's heart is absolutely to bring everyone here, whether they've known true parents in their life before or they haven't. And if you feel a calling or if somebody comes to your heart when you're praying, you should reach out to them, whether they've been a member before or they have no idea who true parents are. Please follow that calling that God is putting on your heart, because that's definitely God. Our in-reach and our membership retention, I don't know if we have specific goals, but our programs are the programs that you know about. It's the Sunday service where you receive some spiritual food from someone who has prayed a lot and asked God a lot of what he wants to say to this community. So Sunday celebration. And the lunch afterwards, right, guys? I think the lunch afterwards is such a beautiful thing. It's true parents' tradition, I realize. Actually, it's not the norm in churches to sit and eat lunch together after service. I went to this mosque and we went in and we did the prayer and then you leave. And nobody talked to me except for one lady. And I was really shocked. What is going on? Anyways, even Christian churches, you come to service and then you go home. Not all of them, but that's the norm. But actually, true parents, Mother talks about in the memoir of, in the early days, they would go to church service at about 200 people, 250 people, she remembers, cooking for all the people that were in church service in the early days, and feeding them. And that this is a tradition that comes from our true parents, that comes from our church, of sitting and fellowshipping together. That's part of the retention program, is let's get to know each other and hear what's going on in your week and encourage each other. And then the midweek service, if you need some more deeper spiritual food, they're really good internal topics on Wednesday nights. And then Changshimwon. Guys, Changshimwon has been transformational for me. Because honestly, the pastor and the people around you, they don't know what's going on in your life or where you need to go next so specifically, but God does. And so if you have the Changshimwon is such a beautiful place for us to be retained ourselves, right? Retain yourself in the church. I don't know if you want to answer that more, sorry.
Thank you. This has been great. I hope you appreciate this. I hope it's. All right, so I want to share with you that my heart is to listen to you, and receive your feedback, because I believe that we grow through give and take. Now, my challenge is this: I'm listening to everybody. So if I do what everybody is asking me to do, we'll be going nowhere. Because if you have 100 people, you have 100 different opinions most of the times. And so I hope you trust me enough. I have to trust my judgment and kind of what this team chooses to prioritize us. But I just want you to know that I'm listening to you. I hear you. Maybe we are not ready right now for your idea, but I want you to know that I have taken note of your idea, and it would come up at some point, okay? And so I just want you to know that. We want to be a growing church. I think if we are growing, all our problems will be solved. Mother is the one who has boiled everything down to this. We are not growing. That's the root of our problems. If we have the numbers, then all the problems will be solved. We don't have the numbers, that's our problem. And I can tell you that the next generation wants to be a part of a growing church, because the original mind of every person is to be a part of a growing project. No one wants to be a part of a stagnant or a dying project. Everyone wants to be a part of a growing project, a project that has a future. This is my own experience. And, in Indiana, there is a few second generations who were kind of on the fence. But in the end, they started calling me my pastor. There is one young family who were really distant from the community, and they didn't want anything to do with it. But in the end, they heard about all the new members who were joining. They became very curious and thought, what is going on there? What is going on there? And meeting new people is like new energy for them. And so they started reconnecting in that way. So let us be a growing church. Let us create a growing project, and you will see. And the key to these things, Father told us, so 40% is spiritual words. That's why what we do at night is very important in the Chongshimon. Is 40% of our success. Then what is the other 30% is our preparedness. Then what is the other 30%? Someone? All right, God's words. So there is our prayers, there is how we welcome people, and then how we convey God's hearts to them. These three aspects are very, very important. So I want to invite you, come, let us pray together. That's the 40% of this community. It's an uncomfortable time, but it makes up 40% of our grades. You can't pass without that. We can't pass as a community without that. So I want to encourage you once per week. Maybe you can't come every week. How about every other week? Well, maybe you can't come every other week. How about once per month? In the end, Mother told us to do this. And so when we all face true parents, what can we say? No, true parents, I never went, or true parents, I couldn't go every night, but I went at least once per month. So let us all make this kind of effort, at least participate together with the community. If we are participating together, we'll surely grow. So Our goal is that we have at least 200 people regularly. Today I wanted to show you a graph of our attendance. It has been improving. And, our average Sunday attendance now has grown to be 160, 170 per week, which is good. In the early it was maybe 120, right? Something like that was our average. So it's gotten better. More people are showing up. I want us to get to the point where there is 200 people showing up on Sunday morning. This is our biggest offering of the week. Then we have the midweek service. This is for you, this is for your guests, this is for everybody. I prepare the guidance and every week that I give. So it's almost a mini sermon that I give every Wednesday night. Then I prepare also the guidance for the night's vigils. So whenever I'm there, I have a guidance and that I give. So it's a lot of time to prepare, but I feel only sincere investment will bring results. So please show up. Then let's create new things, right? I want to see a golden age club. So many people felt, we're only taking care of the second generation and the elders are being forgotten. No, I want you to know that you are not being forgotten. And, you are not being forgotten. And there is the Chongshim one where I can talk to you. There is the midweek service. There is Sunday service. But here is Mother's heart. Here's Mother's heart. And I came across it last night. So I don't know how you received this. But this is Mother's words. But please don't crucify Mother. Receive her heart. She said, you are now in your 60s and 70s, and you have lived longer than the number of years you have remaining. During that short time you still have on earth, you need at least become a solid rock for future generations. Also, we quickly need to identify their strength and train them to use them to their best advantage. In the matter of the worldwide mission work, we need to train the second generation to take the lead. What I mean is that the first generation should serve as good fertilizer for the second generation. So, your mission is not done. You are not forgotten. You're not being left behind. Actually, you are being entrusted with the most important mission, which is to ensure that we have a future. So here's what I want to say. Become an uncle. Look, there is a lot of young men here. My opinion is that they need an uncle figure who holds their hands and show them how to grow up and become a man. A lot of our young people here need someone who prays for them. Someone who is just committed to praying for them. This is not a secondary mission. This is the mission. Raising up, it gives meaning to everything that you have lived for. If you can't pass it on to the next generation, if there is no one to inherit it from you, then what do we have? Then what are we doing? So your mission is actually much more important now than it was when you joined. Because now you have a mission entrusted into you to ensure that this foundation has a future. So get to know the young people in this community. Pray for them. Pray for them. Let them know that you are rooting for them. I feel like a lot of our young men struggle with a lack of confidence. How do you build it? You need someone who sees the potential in you and tells you that you can do this. I see. Look them straight in the eyes and tell them that I see it in you and you can do it. an uncle figure, a father figure would do it. This is the mission that you have. And a lot, just beyond this community, the youth are longing for it. The youth are longing to have that kind of relationship. So you are not forgotten. You're not being left behind, but you are being entrusted with a different mission. And in my opinion, the most important mission. Be a cheerleader. Encourage them for the blessing. This is what we learned last year. That if we reach out to the young people and find out what their challenges are, they will go to the blessing. Many of them just need someone to reach out to them and hold their hands. And this is what Mother is saying she's entrusting you with. So I really hope the feeling can change. We are not forgetting you. You are not being forgotten. You are being entrusted with a different mission. So please come, let us pray together. You know, when Mother inaugurated the Chongshimwon in Korea, she said, hey, that this is the place where the first, second, and third generation would come together. Because we can all pray together. Maybe the different different generations have different interests in life. But when we pray, we can be united. So let us all go and pray together. That's the one place where we can be unified. All right, so 2025 was a great year. But let us have an even greater year in 2026. Thank you. All right, thank you, Pastoral team. Let us invite the worship team to close us up.